So as a great Toastmaster example, he decided to jump in and create a speech while he was listening to the first speaker. Please help me welcome tonight's second speaker, giving a 5 to 7 minute speech on a topic that we don't know yet, but we'll find out. Please help me welcome our second speaker tonight, Mr. Robert Murray.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. So this is the unprepared speech section of the prepared speeches. And Christian, as we were jumping on just before the meeting, Christian was getting a call saying, hey, I can't show up for the speech. And I said, well, I could do one. And I asked Christian, what should I talk about? And he said, I don't know, why don't you talk about confidence in speaking? And it's like, okay, I'll figure something out. And that's one of the very first things that I'll share about confidence is it's the belief and the trust in your ability to figure things out. We are going to get curveballs thrown at us time after time after time. How much do you think about life right now that's happening? You talk about COVID, you talk about the protest, you talk about lockdowns, you talk about the economy, did you expect any of these things to happen at the beginning of 2020? No. But life threw you curveballs and you come back resilient because of that faith in your ability to figure things out. And that's one of the first cornerstones of developing a real set of confidence is that you can do that. The next thing that really creates a level of confidence is your identity of yourself. If you think about yourself as somebody who always gets thrown off, can't handle stress, you can't handle difficult situations, that identity locks in the lack of confidence. But on the other side, if you think, when is a time in my life where I had to face a seemingly insurmountable obstacle, but I came out of it? And I did it with my own resilience or my own ability to figure things out. And you connect back to all the times in your life that you struggled and you're still here and you're still kicking and you're still succeeding. That helps you change your identity in such a way that you can develop the internal confidence because you've been here before. No, we've never had COVID or any of the other things that life has been throwing at us, but we figured things out when life threw us curveballs. And that identity gives you that level of confidence. In the halcyon days, which I call before coronavirus, we were developing skills as speakers in live audiences. We were talking about moving back and forth and how we use body language. And suddenly we got thrust into this new world where we're doing things on Zoom and we had to learn a whole new set of skills. And what are those skills? Managing the technology of Zoom and how to push different buttons, how to engage with an audience through a digital platform rather than an in-person platform, how to manage your energy, even how to move your hands in such a way that you can stay in the screen. To become a podcaster or an improv person, to be able to facilitate. These are all skills that we've had to develop in a very short period of time. And I see that everybody has really stepped up to the plate. You can just look at examples in this very meeting and see how many people have developed skills that 3 months ago, you had no idea that you even needed those things. And that's the next point is how can I frame the journey that I'm on? We can think of these as difficulties or challenges, or we can think of them as opportunities. How can I develop a new set of skills? What is the world calling for me? What are those new skills that are leading to the future? One of the things that I share with a lot of people in the current situation, the post halcyon, post COVID days, is that everything that was once unsustainable is now coming apart. And when things come apart, people rise. And every single one of the people in this particular Toastmasters organization, I could say I'm glad to consider you comrades and fellow Toastmasters, but just really as friends, because I've seen in the way you've shown up at this meeting and some of the past meetings that you have all risen to a new level of competence. And that is the additional thing for developing. It's the confidence competence loop. So if you think about that, how do you develop confidence? You develop confidence by first having that identity that you can figure this thing out, and then starting to do it. And you're going to fail. But then you get up and you do it again, and you do a little bit better because you're debriefing yourself. And then you start succeeding a little bit more. And suddenly, as you're succeeding more, you develop a higher degree of confidence, which gives you a higher degree of competence, and that loop starts cycling back and forth to be very powerful so that you can develop the greatest level of confidence that you possibly can. The other thing that I'll share about confidence is how important it is to model authenticity, because when you're real, you know, like I just said, this is the unprepared speech. You guys are not expecting the polished, well thought out, carefully structured. I'm just being real. I'm pinch hitting here. Here's the best that I can do under those circumstances. But given that, you guys have a new connection. You feel real. You're watching, like, how does somebody show up in that particular situation? So I think it's so important for us to be real. If we don't know something, say we don't know something. If we're stumbling, say we're stumbling. I can't tell you the number of times that people have shared authentically that as white people, sometimes we don't even know what to say about the current crisis. And just saying that we don't know what to say is all the authenticity we need to really connect with the audience in a powerful way. And then the final thought that I'd share is that the journey is worth it. We're all in a low-risk situation here in Toastmasters, and so we're developing the skills that will take us into the future. There are going to be plenty of high-risk situations where we're going to be forced or challenged to speak in an impromptu way, or to be able to deliver a really effective speech online. And so if you tie that to the journey being so worth it and so internal to who it is that you want to become in your life, suddenly you have a higher mission and a higher degree of confidence because it is worth it to develop confidence. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Ron. Very nice job.